I was just blown away. But when I was thinking, I was like, I'm going to bring a treat for Paul. And then I was like, Paul's not going to trust me. Paul's been it for sure.
No, I'm not going to trust you, but it'll be my next beer.
There you go. God, guys, my hands are fucking freezing.
What
And
are you
that
doing that
was
shit
a
for?
half hour ago at least.
I have no.
Are you doing the full? How long?
Yeah.
How long's the shower?
It's, oh my gosh. I'm probably in there for 5 minutes. I'm going to guess. It's miserable.
I've been on
honestly,
the website. I've looked at all the stuff, and I'm like going, okay, this makes kind of sense, but it's like,
yeah, I really highly don't recommend it. If you want to like have an enjoyable morning, I really like if there wasn't so many
but
curse
it
words.
invigorates you,
Yeah,
right?
exactly
Yeah,
right.
it makes you feel good. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I would absolutely share the video that my wife just did, like a voice recording of standing on the like outside in our living room, and you can hear me screaming.
Wouldn't do it.
Yeah, there's just way too many curse words in that.
Oh man, I've tried it where I was in the shower and I slowly kind of dropped it to colder, and I think
that's worse.
Well, of course, it's like boiling
It's like
crap.
yeah, because you're warm and then you get that cold shock.
Yeah, I think it's bad. Is it like boiling crab? It's not like boiling crab. It's like it fucking sucks, is what it does. And the breathing is really weird. The breathing thing is.
I think whole, like, to summarize it though, is just control your breathing. You know, it's like you do the quick short breaths, but then at some point you have to and like slowly.
There's an app. You know,
I can't find the movie, but anyway, it was done. You can find me in Vimeo, whatever that is. That
Vimeo, or whatever it is. I just dropped them anyway because.
But I rented it, and it's about in 1 hour, and Sven Tuff is doing that.
Yes, that is a great video. That's what is that? It's and like there's a few recovery.
Yeah.
It's all about like his return and stuff like that.
And then they had a couple other teammates or guy from Italy that ended up.
God, what was
this
that
is
called?
all Wim Hof stuff.
Was Sven Tuff
is doing Wim Hof.
Well, it's the videos about like all the guys that crash and recovering from accidents. It's behind the scenes of cycling, but the opening scenes, all you hear is like the credits are coming on, and it flashes to him, and he's doing the breathing, and he gets in like in the mountains. He's like barefoot into this stream with snow running out. Oh, nope, not me. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, he like treks up there and does that. Wait, what is it called?
I can't remember.
You got to figure it out because that was I watched that.
It was a good movie.
It's good.
I have no idea what it is.
I thought it was called The Losers or something to the point they're not, the ones that have the end forgotten.
They're like the ones that aren't getting all the glory.
Yeah.
They have a crash and they just kind of disappear. And everyone's like, oh, they're just gone. We're not talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't know why, but the light behind your head is changing color, Paul. But it'll be kind of like a little disco effect as the night proceeds. It's one of those Wi-Fi bulbs, so I can change the color.
Up there doing that.
She's fucking with me.
Yeah.
God damn it. Honey, stop it. Bring more meatloaf, Mom. Hey, before we begin, let's throw some thanks and sponsor mentions. Scratch Labs, people, the best tasting, flavorful, or not, easy digesting, fueling source out there. I did the Truman Show quote last week, so I'll just say, get to scratchlabs.com, tell them the Packfiller sent you. Gooders sunglasses, everybody. Talk about the best you want. Great, super affordable, non-slip, polarized lenses. Stylish glasses for riding both outdoors and in. Well, it's high-powered season for the fans, right? Well, Gooder has us all that and more. I am not reading this very well. I'm not sure on the Packfiller 15 code left, but as I said last week, I think we've still got some left. So if you get on there, use the promo code Packfiller 15, and you can find yourself a little bit of a discount on something that's already insanely affordable. Finally, Untapped Energy, from their humble beginnings, offering portably packaged maple syrup in 2015. Portably packaged maple syrup. Couldn't you just put the whole Aunt Jemima bottle in your back pocket?
Wait, pause. I thought that was already a thing that the Untapped was doing.
They have
but they started
single
in 2015.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they started doing it in 2015. And they have grown to be your one-stop shop for maple athletic nutrition while sticking to their roots. Great taste, great fuel. Hit the link at Packfiller. So, let's do this. And I don't even have any. I'm so fucking unprepared, but I love keeping
It's because Nightwing's not here.
It is. You know what? He should be
Feels
here.
wrong.
It's like, Dad, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And every time that light changes, my copy in front of me turns a little bit warmer or colder. It's very interesting. See, it just changed again. Apparently, I have it on some sort of a fucked up cycle.
I think it's your wife.
She is. If it.
You don't have the on-air back behind you.
Yeah.
No, that one's. Oh, I don't.
No.
What's
So
happening?
I was fooled. Okay, we're on the air now.
We're live now.
Yeah.
Live.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Well, the days are getting shorter. The weather's starting to chill. Darker beers are calling, as is that second helping of pasta. If you think about it, you'll not be wearing your summer kit outside until April. That is 6 months away. How's that for a fucking depressing statement to sort of throw out the store with?
I mentioned to my wife when we were riding tonight. I was like, "This is probably it."
Yeah, this is our last local 70-degree day, they're saying.
Yep.
And this is
Possibly
fucking late.
tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah. Thursday maybe also. Friday gone. And
Saturday depression hits.
yes.
Anyway, welcome to the show about the activity many gave up when they got their driver's licenses. Perhaps that's what's wrong with the world. Welcome to the Packfiller Cycling Podcast. We are here in the Rim Break Bar. I am Pat Bolger. Let's introduce the panel, shall we? Why do I staple these when I actually tear them off anyway? Well, that's kind of fun to do.
Yeah, that's
actually.
right.
It gives me a little authoritative snap.
Like Letterman used to take his cards and throw them.
Yeah.
They're crashing.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I say your name, please respond with an answer to the following, gentlemen. If you were in the Witness Protection Program, what would be your new name and where would you go? I'll give you a second to think about that as the theme dies slowly. And I sip my High West double rye. God, I'm sliding down the steps to alcoholism.
It's becoming a problem, probably. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Alcoholism. And we don't edit our shows, so
No,
somewhere somebody's
there's a
listening to that going,
joke.
"I'm offended,
Yeah.
motherfucker." My dad, drank.
Don't
Malt
support.
liquor.
Yeah, I don't support that, but I do support drinking high quality bourbon.
Yeah, at least we're not fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, he's the reason it's called the Rim Break Bar, Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man?
All right, I'm doing okay. Yeah.
So talk to me, Goose. I saw that fucking movie
It's
this
good.
weekend, and I'm going to talk to you about
want
that.
a
too.
review.
I'm going to talk to you about that movie. Paul, if you were in the Witness Protection Program, actually, I should ask, what was the crime you committed, and where would or confessed to? You don't commit the crime, right?
Or you could be a witness.
You're an
right?
accessory or something like that.
Oh no, you could be a witness of the crime.
Yeah. Okay. I won't ask that. But
All right.
what would be your new name and where would you live?
Live in Nice, France.
Oh, good choice. Shit, I need to rethink what I said.
I'm not going to change what I'm thinking.
What's
but
your new name?
Lloyd Braun.
Everybody meets you's like, wait, what?
Lloyd Braun.
Can't be Lloyd Braun.
Yeah, Lloyd Braun. If you're a Seinfeld person, you get it.
That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm laughing. Oh God, I love it. Second of all, he's the reason there's bourbon on the bar, Mr. Sam Waples. How are you, man?
Good to be here.
Yeah. Okay. You've committed a crime or you've witnessed one. Where are you gonna go? And what's your name?
I think I'm going to go to San Luis Obispo. It's a treasure for bike riding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, there's so many cool places to go to. I mean, anywhere in Europe would be too, but I don't think that I haven't experienced it to your level, so I wouldn't know where to pick. But I do know San Luis Obispo is cool.
Okay. No, I agree. Yeah.
I think I'd go with like Ricky Racer. How cool would it be to
You
roll
guys are
up
picking,
that
like,
or
hardcore names.
yeah, like I want to be known as Ricky Racer. Everyone's like, "Who are you?" Oh, I'm Ricky Racer. They'd be like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a name and a speed."
Yeah. Deal with it, motherfucker.
Deal with it.
Could you? But do you think you could still race because you spent your entire life racing? Do you think you could still race in a as a witness protection? Some people be like,
Yeah, I mean, my
I
name's
know,
Ricky
you're
Racer
not
now.
fucking Ricky Racer.
I'm
you're
Lloyd
Sam.
Braun.
But you'd have to have some surgical work done. You have to do like a face-off thing where
no one
just
remembers
grow a
my
mustache.
face for good reason. So
he was behind me.
yeah. What's your name again? Mom. Jeez.
Fuck, Mom.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm your baby. Yeah. Third, he's the reason there's cider on tap, Mr. Jackson Bolger, who's not here. Oh. Yeah, so I don't know what he would say.
I don't know. We didn't allow him to talk last week, so
I think he got a chance. Jackson, you're going to have to tell us if you got a chance to talk last week or not. So I think he did. He just we complimented the fuck out of him, though.
I know.
Yeah, we just kept telling him how nice he was.
That's the thing. He's so nice. He's just like waiting for all of us to like share our pieces.
Yeah.
And he's like,
you guys go first.
Listen.
No, that's okay. Yeah, he's like the Chip and Dale. Like, no, after you.
Yeah.
After you. No, after you. Like the old cartoon when we were kids. Me, I'm the reason the damn bar is here in the fucking first place. That's right, I'm Pat Bolger. If I was the witness protection program, I would definitely be named Ned Ryerson.
Ned Ryerson.
You guys don't get the name? You
No.
don't get the reference in Ned Ryerson.
No.
From
No,
back
it's
in
over my
college? Bing! Oh my God.
No.
None of you have seen Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
I have.
It's
oh
me,
yeah.
Ned.
Oh yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Ryerson.
Yeah. Selling life insurance.
Yeah, exactly. And I just realized I am not a very adventurous person because I would live in Anacortes, Washington.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
I like Anacortes.
I mean, choose Bellingham, man, or like
No,
somewhere
I like
else.
Anacortes. It's the trail network around there. The roads around there are great. I love it.
Yeah, but choose like Sammamish out there. Like there's this Sammamish spit.
Nah, Sammamish is full of pretentious people.
You're talking, yeah. I'm talking about the one. It's like a little spit up near Bellingham. It's not the one in Seattle area.
Okay.
God, Anacortes.
I picked Anacortes.
Okay, you know what?
Fucking deal with it. You'll never see me again anyway. Hey, so let's get an update on how the riding history has been over the past 7 days. I have a feeling this is going to be the quickest segment of the entire show. Does anybody have a confession to make that they have
You
or
rode.
have not ridden?
Few
You rode.
losers. I've been riding.
How many? Oh, Jackson would go to San Luis Obispo. Fuck.
My dude.
He's just...
And what would his name be like?
And
Kind.
take up the name Sam Waples. The odds of people finding me would be way better.
Yeah, that's funny.
Jackson's live texting us.
That was hilarious.
I should get the phone going so Jackson could call in.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Sicky.
Yeah, Mr. Sicky. How many rides you been doing?
Yeah, so I rode. So last Tuesday, I rode. Then I think because man, had some back pain. Took me out for like a few days for spinning. Yeah, that's why you saw a bike ride that was like 10 miles.
Holy
That was me like wobbling along at 100 watts maybe.
Oh.
But then all came back. Got to ride in like Friday, Sunday, Monday.
Fuck.
This afternoon.
No.
Only 15 miles. So.
Only 15 miles. Yep, that was just a leisurely
You're
wife
full
spin.
Strava stalking there, aren't you, Paul?
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Wait,
posted
did that
my ride
post
today.
You rode today too?
So, yeah.
God.
60 miles, 60 plus
You
miles.
shitting me?
God, you're a legend.
Thanks for following me on Strava, dickheads.
Well, I haven't. Fuck, he's on to us. Run for it.
I never get kudos from you bastards.
Well, I don't look during
What
the week
teammates?
because I figure we're fucking working.
Well,
for
yeah,
a
it'll
living.
just make me sad.
I have the whole week off, so
You
What?
do?
yeah. And but
How?
that's why I'm gonna squeeze in as many as I can because the shite weather's coming. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
and
awesome.
and hopefully Brent Soderberg
Yeah.
is in town, and hopefully I can hook up with him.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. And I was saying I wanted to ride this weekend with him, but you told me you crushed my dreams and told me the weather's going to be
Yeah,
shit.
but it looks terrible. But
Yeah.
I'd still ride at 40 degrees, but not when
if
it's
it's not wet.
and blowing sideways. So, yeah. So I didn't ride the weekend though because I re-injured my calf again. And
Yeah.
it's still, even at the end of the ride, you can see the edema right where the sock hits and stuff.
What
So
did you do?
I don't know. It's not the tendon. I can put pressure on the tendon. It's just like right behind there on both sides. of that tendon, and it goes up into my calf. So I was just, I caught my toes at the end of the stairs, and then like jerk like that.
Can we stop for a second and realize that this is honestly a injury that happened walking in your home?
It was going upstairs, yeah.
Okay.
And the second time, I re-injured it because it's starting to get better.
I just wanted to leave it at that.
I was doing an inspection. This lady has almost virtually a ladder going into her basement, and I was talking to her, and I caught, and I just had like my big toe and the toe next to it hooking on, and I went. Oh.
Did you walk it off like you were cool?
Yeah, I was sweating, and I thought I dropped the F-bomb, but she didn't even seem to turn around, so I'm like, whoa, and I'm standing there, and she's like, it's not that warm back here, because I was looking at her panel, and anyway, yeah, and then I kept home, and yeah.
I rode one time this week. That is it. I rode one fucking time.
That's actually kind of sad because of how nice the weather was.
Yeah.
It was like 30-ish, 30
I doubled you in one day.
Yeah.
The same.
Here's Paul.
I'm a failure.
Yes, you are.
I can't. Dick measuring contest. Paul wins.
Like an apple.
Baby's arm holding an apple.
That's hilarious.
I went out and I got a nice little soul ride, as Jackson calls them. And I went out 9 mile, kind of went out through the Little Spokane River and stuff like that, up that way, and and it was nice. You know what? I didn't have to deal with any of you fuckers, and the great part about it is at no point in time did I really want to throw my bike into a dumpster. I was like, fuck, this is nice.
Yeah, because you're doing 15 miles an hour. I mean,
17.
I'm just kidding.
17. I average 17. Sam, let me get you on camera. Just do that one more time, could you?
That's Paul. Oh my god.
Oh my god. So that was it. But it was nice, and I'll get into the other stuff later. Anybody gonna do any cyclocross? If so, why not?
Hell no.
I was gonna say, do you notice I asked why not?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna do any single one.
No.
Why? What do you have against cyclocross, bro? It's popular.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm over here complaining about. I literally went to bed fine and woke up the next morning and was like, my back.
Yeah.
And it's like doing a cyclocross race would crumble me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I maybe would go out if I wasn't hurt, but I'm fine with not doing it.
Yeah. You got the gravel bike. Technically,
I'm just gonna be a gravel privateer.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I understand.
Why would you get
I'm starting
off
to
the
hate
bike
those
and
two
then
words together.
Gravel and
Oh, I
privateer.
know.
Yeah.
I love it because it's so annoying.
It is.
It feeds into like my whole MO of just being an annoying little shit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you got that down.
Yeah.
Paul, what's your problem with cyclocross?
I did it for a couple of years. I never really. I mean, I did it for shits and giggles. I never took it serious, and it's hard for me to participate for shits and giggles. That's not.
Yeah.
And why do you get off a perfectly good bike when you have,
Why would you run upstairs? Like, that's the stupidest
I
thing.
actually
what are you
love
gonna
watching
fucking
it.
do when you come to stairs?
Don't put them in there.
Don't put them in there. Yeah.
Oh
I like watching it.
I feel
Because
like
it's only
I
an
feel
hour
like the
long,
youngest person on this podcast right now.
Because you think it's like cool
fucks.
and trendy and
Oh, you know what? I would do it, but I just honestly, I would love it. I would have so much fun doing it, but I truly fucking hate the cold weather. And right now, I don't want to race anybody, so I'm not doing the races now. But I also just don't want to. I when it's like freezing, fucking freezing. No way, man. I'm drinking a beer.
bro.
Yeah. I might go out to the Walters Fruit Ranch one though, because it wasn't Walters. It was Big Barn Brewing.
Big Barn. Yeah, Big Barn. They don't have that this year.
Motherfucking.
But we can go to Big Barn and grab a beer and then go
Just come over. Yeah. I think Jackson was there this weekend, and he told me that they do sell beer at Walters Fruit Ranch.
Oh, do they?
So yeah. For those of you who have no fucking clue what we're talking about, because you live
like Sterling
very
Reserve
far away from us.
Yes,
malt liquor.
Yeah.
No, it better not be. But we have a district of our city Green Bluff Hills, and it's apple orchards, it's cherry trees, it's stuff like that, and pumpkins, yeah, and it's a great district, and we have some cyclocross races that happen up there. We have some great people who keep putting them on, and yeah, we don't race them. None of us race them. None of us promote them. This is the first time we've really.
I've gone out and volunteered. I will say that. Yeah. I have volunteered at multiple cross races.
I just have
no interest in participating in them.
Yeah, I announced one year.
You how many years did you cross?
Combined over my entire life?
Yeah.
One combined.
Year. And you got one picture of you going up a hill.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm like,
yeah.
I got a couple other ones. Yeah, I actually did that one year. I did 3 races, and there was an ongoing. I need a minute here so I don't get too emotional. There was an ongoing challenge within the pack that I was racing with.
Shit. Remember, he's a theater
brought upon by Mark Kanoki. That hey
Evil
everybody,
Mark.
if
who is picking on you?
If you pass Pat Bulger, if you lap him, spank him in the ass. And they did.
It's not funny.
How many?
Strangers were spanking me in the ass and actually going, sorry, Mark told me to do it. A couple of them fucking hurt, which means I was going that slowly that they were coming by me that fast that they were actually get some whack moment. Yeah.
That is so emotionally damaging. That's the most savage thing I've heard on
Well, it adds up to the equation that is Pat.
Yeah.
Why do I have rage issues?
People slap me in the ass.
Oh, fuck.
Now, I think, getting to cross, I think everybody should try it. If they like it, do it. I think it takes bike skill. It takes a lot of, it's a crit on dirt and dismount.
Yeah.
You are, in fact, crits you can hide out a little bit. On a cross race, you're pegged.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great thing, but it's just not my shtick.
I enjoyed them when I did them, but I like watching them. I just have no interest in doing it
It's
anymore.
beer drinking time.
It is.
I'm not going to.
Well, there's a good question. Does anybody? I've even tried to enforce a diet upon myself already this time of year. I'm like,
don't do that.
I am. I fucking have to. I just go. If I don't, man, it's just like food is good, and then I'm a Gustus Gloop before I know it. It's like,
Mama, more chocolate.
And I'm just fucked. So I have to. I'm already enforcing a diet upon myself.
So like salads for breakfast?
No, fuck that. I play around sometimes with a
fasting,
16-hour
intermittent fasting.
Yeah, intermittent fasting. I stop eating at 8 and I start eating at noon. And that's it, and stuff like that.
8 in the morning and you stop for 4 hours.
Yeah,
I fasted for 4. Well, eat breakfast.
God, I'm not gonna make it.
There are 16 hours of the day that I'm not eating.
Yes. No, or I am eating. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I stop at 8 p.m. and I start at noon, and it's pretty fucking easy. And so, I'll do that just to kind of maintain things. And I've cut wine out of my diet, but that is kind of like
you replace it with
but that's kind of like Lent. When, for us Catholics out there, it's like when you're just like going, I'm giving up olives. Don't you hate olives? Yeah, but I'm fucking giving them up. So
none of your business. That's what I would say.
I'm the only one who's doing it. How are you guys planning to build over the winter? I haven't got to the topic yet, so don't go too in depth. But what are you guys planning on improving upon? Over the winter.
Okay, I'll jump into it because my biggest thing is, once again, I'm already over here complaining about my back. So I've just that's been a thing for several years. So I finally was like, I'm in this stupid freaking field. Why am I still dealing with this? And granted, there's a lot to my back, but I'm just going to focus on it. I really haven't given it a full run. So I'm focusing on strength and power, and hopefully that rolls over onto a bike.
Paul, you're the kind of guy who has always said, if I can get outside, I'm going outside.
I have aluminum rims up for my rim brake bike, so I don't have to worry about bad weather.
What are you going to do when that's not possible? Can riding the rollers be enough?
No, I'll do what is that, X or whatever, the Wahoo thing. I really like that system.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And your yoga.
When it's, what's that?
And your yoga.
And yoga.
Did
I know.
you intentionally say that in a soft voice?
Yes,
to be
you did.
condescending?
You guys watch.
What a fucking asshole.
I keep saying that. I keep saying I'm going to do yoga, but if I do it, you guys are going to suffer like...
I know.
Because you can just... That was my best years cycling is when I was big into yoga. I was like, I could ride 90 miles, no pain, no back pain, no anything. It's just awesome. I'm naturally semi-limber.
You got to be with your saddle position.
Yeah, I know. But I used to hurdle and stuff, and I was like, I can, if I work at it, I can put my head onto my knees and
That
stuff.
is
So,
insane.
but that's just, I have to work at it. I have to be
Head
disciplined.
onto your knees. That is
Like forward fold. I'm just like,
That's not too far away from it.
yeah. Well, I don't plan on taking any ribs out or anything.
Okay, I'm just saying you're fucking close. No, that was me texting Chad.
Yeah.
So. Wow. Okay, you've almost reached the reason to never set
Do you want
aside
to? Do you
your
want
house
me to
again.
see how far I can go, and then we'll do
No.
it?
Should I focus the cameras?
not.
Hey everybody, let's watch Paul.
I haven't even tried to loosen up.
This is foreplay.
What are we even talking about tonight?
Yoga.
Oh,
Yoga.
Not yoga.
Yeah. Yoga. Is anybody going to do any training plans? Do you get specific, or is it a mentality of just kind of like maintain, ride when you can, yada, yada, yada? Or is it like Monday I have to do this, Tuesday this, Wednesday this, whatever Chris Carmichael tells me to do or something like that? Not to bash Chris, Chris, although he's not in charge of the gig anymore. But
No.
I ramble. But anybody got anything specific you're doing, or are you just thinking about kind of meh?
Oh, I'm already started my training plan for Trainer Road.
No shit.
Yep.
Oh, you're using Trainer Road.
Trainer Road. I've loved Trainer Road.
Yeah.
And now that I've got Top Gun Maverick,
shit.
That movie.
every trainer ride already, guys.
Really?
It's a problem. I'm telling you, I've watched it since last week 3 times.
Sam, this has nothing to do with the sport of cycling, but I'm gonna provide you with my critique because I finally watched it this fucking weekend. I paid $20 for the fucking movie.
Worth every
I
penny.
paid $20 for it. And I'm gonna say, if I could hold a visual graph to the camera that's looking at me, here's the stupidity scale. Okay, it starts out fucking my arm isn't long enough. It's just like, wait, there's a woman who owns a bar. Mm-hmm. That her employment is owning a bar in San Diego, and she has a fucking sailboat, a Porsche, a house, and she's putting a kid through school.
Yeah.
My ass, first of all.
Her dad was a colonel.
Fuck that. And then it goes into this absolute mindless bullshit. As a guy with a mustache, what's his name? Who's Goose's kid with the mustache?
Brewster.
Fucking looks
What?
terrible. His mustache is terrible. It looks fucking douchey.
It's supposed to be.
I'm gonna say it looks like a porn mustache. It was terrible. So the movie's just horrible. Then wait, halfway through, it's like they cut through all the bullshit, and it just became a stupid action movie. And then I got interested.
They had to tie in all of the old Top Gun though.
But
And they did that.
They did in the first 5 seconds. They played Kenny Loggins,
Yep.
and they
On
played
a-
the bone,
Yep.
the bone,
And on
the
a
bone.
whatchamacallit, battleship.
Aircraft
Carrier.
And then the movie just kind of slowly got a little better, and it just became this Jason
Beautiful.
Statham Tokyo Drift kind of a fucking movie where it's like they got the impossible mission, and of course they're gonna fucking do it. And then Tom Cruise's character, spoiler alert, is the guy flying the fucking plane, and they're like, oh, of course it's you got a 90-year-old dude flying a fucking plane. Roll credits. and scene.
That's a same formula they had.
But have you ever seen a movie where they put a full camera system in an F-16?
That shit was cool.
So cool.
It's an 18,
You're
isn't
like,
Well, there's the 16 at the end. Sorry, it's 18 for
that's
the other
Air
part.
Force's 16s.
Yep.
they flew 18s, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the majority of them until they
Because
stole.
they had to fly. Oh, yeah, don't spoiler alerts,
Sorry.
man.
Sorry.
Seriously, this
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, well, in the scenes on the ground.
I'll
where
watch
it's
it
like,
because I have interest on the flying. This is one
Yeah.
they actually
Yes.
did. So I don't have a problem
That's
with
what's
watching
cool
that.
about it.
the scenes
You
on
guys
the
are
ground where they're just,
overthinking
like,
this.
behind
You're
enemy
like
lines,
wanting
fucking
cinematic,
shit. It's
like-
come on.
This
Yeah.
is not for that.
No.
This is purely for action.
But
Yeah.
what I'm actually saying here is, how many times have you seen it?
Oh God, do I need to count?
Jesus Christ, I worry. I worry. Oh, cycling. Does anybody have the balls to put themselves out there, or vagina, to do a 4DP test within the immediate... Paul's arm just hit the bar. Oh my God. Jackson would be just like... Just
Jackson
shaking
would
his
get
head.
up and walk away.
Jackson would be shaking his head, just like, "Oh, you guys are gonna get us fucking shut down." We need you, Jay. To do a 4DP test within the next 10 days.
What's a
1 week.
4DP
1
test?
week. You could do I'm sure
Monty.
Trainer Road probably has a
FTP.
FTP
Like-
test.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No,
but
you're
this
doing
one's-
it again.
This one's worse.
I might
do it again.
do it on the weekend if it's really crappy. How about
I'm
that?
saying-
All right, here's
and
what we're
I'll,
gonna do.
then I'll report
Here's what
it.
you do.
Here's what
Sign
we are
up for
gonna
a
do.
free trial,
Okay.
a 30-day trial of system, Wahoo system,
Okay.
and you could bail as soon as if you
Yeah.
want. That's really bad to say.
I
I'm
no
responsible,
kidding.
but
Is it?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
hey, wait a minute.
You can bail.
Yeah.
You can bail.
You might like it.
Yeah, it's like a deal.
That's
the
what
first
I'm
one's
saying.
free.
Yeah.
First one's free.
Yeah, that's how they got me on drugs.
Yeah. Oh my God. So what I'm saying is, sign up for a free trial. It pairs to your trainer already, and you do it. You do the test. Fucking nightmare. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I
So
know.
what is quick summary? What is it?
It's a
Just 'cause,
ramp
like,
test,
the one that
basically.
I
No,
hate ramp
well,
tests. I did
no,
a 20-minute, and it
but
was.
But hang on, it's different because
It tests your immediate sprint speed. It tests your 5-minute whatever
Power,
VO2
yeah.
max. It tests your 20-minute FTP, and then after it's all over, you got to do a quick 1 minute.
you ramp. Yeah, you do those testing, and then you ramp up, and then you have to sit there, and there's like a gap where I screwed it the first time I did
no,
the
that
testing.
you're thinking you're thinking half Monty.
I thought that was the full one.
No,
'Cause I did the full
FTP
one.
you don't have to.
Hmm.
Yeah, but oh,
Here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's
We're gonna
about
go
an hour
over to-
long.
It
isn't
tests 4 different sections of your cycling fitness, and by the time it's done, it says what type of a where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and it fucking
Here's my
hurts.
thought.
It hurts. It hurts so bad.
On Saturday or Sunday, whichever day works better,
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
go over to David's garage because it's heated, so we can all be like nice and warm. And we are going to do all of that. We're going to do the test.
We iPad it up. Does he have full Wi-Fi out there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we can each do a test. We'll all do it at the same time. We can
What
measure at the end of it.
What day?
Saturday or Sunday.
we can invite Brent over.
Brent,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Brent,
This is going to be a full party.
kick yourself in the teeth.
Yeah. And then we'll have something to talk about for next week.
Who has the best FTP?
Who
It won't be
has the
me.
biggest.
All mine. All mine.
Ow, that hurts. How do you guys do that? I'm
We're not
fragile.
babies
I'm fragile.
like Smokey.
Honest review. What do you think of the rye?
I freaking
It's good,
enjoy
huh?
it very much
Yeah.
so. And
You can have
it's
as much as you'd like. Tell
Oh.
them back.
all right.
It's a great bottle.
See you on Thursday.
Call in sick
Yeah.
for tomorrow.
Paul, you looking at something
Yeah,
particular
I'm looking
about
at
the
my.
40B?
I'm looking at the.
It's a time
yeah,
podcast, man.
I know. But I thought you got in your conversation.
Well, I was going to
lost
cut to
my
the
interest.
news, but that's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Cut to
I'm
the
ready.
news.
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, actually, no, I wasn't. I was going to cut to the topic, which is actually brought to, which coincides with winter training. This segment is brought to us by our friends at Movember. If you don't know what Movember is, you're going to find out because we're going to throw it down your throat in the next couple of weeks. It is coming, the month where guys just stop shaving for various reasons. Well, we have a reason. Men's health is in crisis. Men are dying on an average of 5 years earlier than women, and for largely preventable reasons. A growing number of men, around 10.8 million globally, are facing life with prostate cancer diagnosis. Globally, testicular cancer is the most common cancer among young men. So these are 2. And across the world, 1 man dies by suicide every minute of every day, with males accounting for 69% of all suicides. I'm not getting emotional. I just have to burp.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah, that was terrible. Movember is uniquely placed to address this crisis on a global scale. They fund groundbreaking projects all over the world, engaging men where they are to understand what works best and accelerate change. So we have set up a Movember partnership link on packfiller.com. You can get involved. You don't have to grow a single facial hair, I promise. Or you can get involved. All proceeds are going to this cause. We're even setting up a great Patreon patron page that includes support for this group. So check it out. There we go. So, topic of the day. Sam, and this has to do with winter stuff. You mentioned in texts earlier about the fact of PT, the words PT. Talk to me about PT. Are we talking about personal trainer or are we talking about physical therapy?
Great question. Physical therapy. Just because, like, man, most of the time, even when I was racing more competitively, it would be something where it's like, oh, well, this is all stuff that I'm going to address in the off season. And then the off season kind of comes and goes, and then you're back into it, and it's like, next year's problem. So, like, I mean, this is a great time to start focusing on the stuff that you don't work when you're riding throughout the season, because like in the PT world, we're only working in the sagittal plane, so that's just right in front of us, right? We're just moving in one way. We don't do anything to the sides. You don't work your hips. You don't work. Yeah. So working on all those muscle groups that you don't strengthen otherwise. Same thing for, like, you personally, like bending more forward, right? Strengthening more stuff for postural, like get more up and back, because we all find ourselves in the and you're done with
You're going to have to adjust your mic now. Yep. About 5 inches.
Holy shit.
I know.
Yeah.
That's where you should be.
Yes.
I'm a slouching motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, but it is one of those things that it's, man, all cyclists, like, you know how you know a cyclist is you look at them from the side and they're just, their head is totally forward, arrow position. Yeah. And so, anyway, like just working on a lot of those things. And I think we all have gains for that.
So it's not, most people think physical therapy, they think injury repair. Mm-hmm. They think of, it's like, oh, something's broken, I got to go fix it.
Yep.
But this, how often?
It is more proactive, definitely, than like your typical injury, because you probably, you have aches and pains, but you can get through it. But this is more about, like, in the long run, being able to do something at your best for a longer period of time.
You mentioned at the outset about working on your back, working on weakness areas. I'm going to offer this up to the 2-panel now that JB's not here. But how often do you work on weaknesses? Let's be honest. Let's pull back the curtain and confess. Hi, my name's Pat, and I work on my weaknesses. Blank.
How often are you doing yoga?
Yeah, Sam's looking right over at Paul.
Here's the thing with. And like I said,
Yogi. That's what I was thinking of. Yogi. We're going to get in trouble with the ranger.
That is a reference that nobody's going to fucking get.
What? I do.
Why not?
Yogi Bear?
Yes.
You really?
Yippity-doo.
Yep.
Them picnic baskets.
I know someone you don't know. Yogi. Anybody?
I don't know that one.
That's the Yogi Bear song.
You lost me on that one.
All right.
So, Paul, how often?
Well, if I was doing it like when I was supposed to, and when I did 10 years ago, it was twice. I only did it like twice a week. But that's all you need. Yeah,
plenty.
And twice a week.
Twice a week is stability. Things like there's a star pose, and I'm not going to get into that, but you're on one foot and one leg up, and it's on.
I might need a
mobile
mobile
Pigeon
camera.
pose.
pigeon.
I might
show
need
me
a.
that?
I'll do that. Yeah,
I might need a mobile camera just for you.
he rolls
Paul.
over on pigeon.
God, we need Jackson here.
I roll-
This is really like
The pigeon pose is that one that you went and you did that class.
yeah, you
and
get
you
your
went
leg crossed over
Yeah.
and then you're down like chest.
How did
like
you
close
guys
to-
know
way
I
up
turned
here.
over on it?
because you told
because
the
you told us
story.
a long time ago.
How
Also-
come we remember your stories?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
You need to start
I
writing them down.
don't know what I had for breakfast this morning.
But yeah, all that stability in the ankles, hips, that type of thing, and just stretch the flexors, hip flexors, and everything. And the funny thing is talking about your posture and everything. First time I was in yoga class, cross leg, you sit there, eyes closed, breathe, and I could feel the middle of my back. I wanted to go like this,
Yeah.
and it was hard for me to concentrate because the middle of our backs are so weak, and so that's why we look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm arrow.
Yeah, we're just we look like the letter C,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but anyway, that got stronger and stronger, and that's why I was so happy. That's probably why I never had back problems or anything.
Right.
So,
They do 2 days a week.
yeah, 2 days a week.
That's
days a
plenty.
Really?
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
all. You don't have to do it every day.
no, I think I only do it like. I mean, okay, I do it more, but I do need a lot more strengthening just considering like what I have for my back. And so I do it probably like 3 to 4 days a week.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm a firm believer in being in the field. Man, your PT should not take more than like at most 20 minutes to
Now-
complete something because you're not going to want to do it
Help
like
me-
that.
help
And
me
I'll go
define
back
this a
on
little bit
this,
more.
too.
Okay.
So Gabriel Benjamin,
Yeah.
you've had on the show.
Yeah.
He has, and he even talks to the people that he worked with. Was it Lambie? Did he work with? I can't remember. Some
He worked with
cyclist.
Phil Gaiman.
Yeah, Phil Gaiman.
Gaiman.
I know one's the author, and
And you had both of them on the show.
Not Phil Gaiman.
Didn't
no,
you?
not
You had Phil.
the author.
Didn't you have Phil?
I had Phil on.
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman is
Ah.
the guy who wrote the Sandman, but I'm going down a nerdy
Yeah.
path.
But he has like
fucking
he has like 20-minute workouts, on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can work on your hips, you can work on this, and everybody thinks it's got to be like you were talking about, even with PT. It's got to be this. I got to spend an hour doing that, or it's not going to be worth anything. And that's not how it works.
Nope, not true. Yeah.
So what's the difference between strength/weight training and PT?
Great question. A lot of them will overlap, but the biggest thing is like when we're doing physical therapy, we're isolating your weakness, right? So like when you think strength training, you're doing squats or you're doing cleans, push-ups, or I guess bench press. So you're doing more of those things that are global muscles. So you're using multiple muscle groups that you're recruiting. Whereas when we're doing PT, it's like, oh, you have this one weakness in your glute med, one muscle. We're just targeting that. So like that's the thing is we're more focusing on one impairment to bring it back up to the level of all of them. Whereas, or tight hip flexors, right? If we're not even talking about necessarily strength, but like we have tight hip flexors or other things that cyclists have are like weak cervical flexors, right? Because our neck is constantly flexed up, right? Or extended
Jesus.
up. So
I'm finding more problems in myself.
yeah,
It's freaking
oh my
me out.
gosh, I'm telling
you
you,
sit
if
up
you give
straight,
us like
damn
an
it?
hour, if you give us like an hour eval, you would walk out of there like, my life is hopeless.
Really? Really? Oh.
Nothing.
Yeah, I need a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
I got a story about
Self-deprecation.
at Tailwind. CP had he had hip surgery and stuff, and Jeff, your boss, gave him these rubber bands that he
Yep.
get the strength, and he moved up there based on color. He's thinking, I'm going pretty far. And Jeff goes, no, I mean, the average person could do like 3 more colors before you're
Really?
at. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because
So-
that's something that I think that we as cyclists are just like, I'm fit, I'm fucking fast, I'm a stud, I'm great. And then all of a sudden, like me, you roll over in the middle of the night, you crank your neck, and then you can't fucking walk for 3 days. And I can do a sub 1 hour time trial, or well,
40K.
okay, I was gonna say 5K,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, we do this kind of shit to ourselves, and we isolate so heavily upon the areas we work on that we don't think about the fact that I'm gonna help my uncle fucking rake leaves, and I'm not gonna be able to walk for 3 days.
Totally. I mean, like when I started doing all my house rental last year,
Yeah.
wow, that broke me. And I like true respect for what Paul did for the majority of his career with all the crawling around in attics and things. That's insane. I mean,
I guess my point is because I know that there are cyclists who listen to this who take shit super seriously and are looking for marginal gains. You know, I know that's a terrible word to say, 2 terrible words to say, but
gravel
where do you gravel privateer? What it's like moist. But where do we get to?
Where's Jackson?
I know. He wrangles us.
Yeah,
He's
exactly, right?
He's like, guys, we got to move on.
He just looks at us like, don't.
Ah, Jesus. Who's
But
the
where
adult
do we
here?
get to? Where do we get to the stages between cycling enhancement and life enhancement? Because I know that a lot of people are looking for cycling enhancements, and I know that they are probably going like, I'm good on everything else. I'm a fucking dentist, and all I got to do is bend over people and take out their teeth.
Yeah, that all feeds into like.
I don't like dentists, by the way.
Yeah, the bending forward, and you're already in the cycling position. Anyway.
Yeah,
You're
right?
an anti-dentite?
I am an anti-dentist.
Jesus. I might have to think about this relationship.
You're rocking on the Seinfeld references.
That's a great point. I like that's why my point earlier, what I was saying, like what I'm working on, strength and power, right, to roll over into next season. Because man, if you work on those weaknesses, I think you'd be shocked with how much more power you can put out, and like that's gonna roll over and help with hill climbs, with sprints, with any of that type of stuff. So I think that there is a lot of rollover to it, and then it'll also help you with your daily life and not looking like a weirdo.
Yeah, and not to mention the times I see Peter Sagan, like spreading his legs super wide and bending like with his nose 6 inches off the ground. And I'm just going, oh, fuck.
Which is interesting because his position is not.
He's an
way
interesting looking rider. Yeah,
he's like mountain bike position.
Yeah. But okay, let's break it down here though. And I know that I can't believe there are people out there who are involved in the sport of cycling who care about fucking money. But let's talk about cost. Sam mentioned commitment in terms of maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week, but that obviously isn't going to come free. Paul, you mentioned Gabriel Benjamin, who's hopefully listening to the show, because I mean Gabe, he does some great. Gabriel, sorry, I said Gabe during his show, and he got mad at me. He didn't get mad at me. He's just like, nah, I prefer Gabriel. But there's got to be how many times are we paying somebody to do something for us? So what's the cost involved realistically, and what kind of alternatives are there out there for people?
Great question.
Anybody got an idea? Sam, I just keep throwing shit in your lap.
No, honestly, like,
how do we skirt your entire industry? Yeah. Everything you do, how do we cheat?
Yep, that's fine. I honestly, I'm a big fan, though, of we're there when you need us, right? Because there's a lot of things like manual therapy that you can't do to yourself, right? But there's a lot of stuff that I think that people can do, and just like if we can take the load off the healthcare system, it's going to help us overall. So like cost really shouldn't be a problem. And it definitely is, because insurance doesn't cover everything, right? Yeah. I think that our average copay is somewhere between $20 and $45. So like that's not cheap, especially if you're going like 2 times a week. But I think most active cyclists out there that are just like, hey, I need to get better, and I have people on my schedule that are like that. I see them once a month.
Really? Yeah.
That's not like, think about how much your gym membership would cost, right? And I give you stuff that's just like you can do it at home. So I think that as far as like cost wise, it is money, and I'm not going to downplay that, but there is, I make fun of Paul for yoga just purely because I don't know why I'm picking on Paul tonight, but I do yoga too.
Because I don't like your stupid swill that you tried to push on me the other the last whatever it was. And
then I bring him something nice.
He did bring just a preempt, because you did bring a nice beer to him tonight, but he hasn't ever drank it yet.
I know.
I'm saving it for next week because
that's
that's probably going to blow.
Yeah.
Because what?
Your case
we're on a race here Who's
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
blow it first time? We're gonna be like
is,
5 in
It's
deep.
all over us.
Yeah.
Let's get a beer
But
sponsor coming.
so I think like I do this other. It's a really cool app. I'm gonna promote it. It's called Down Dog, and you can get it for really cheap. But it does
Sounds dirty.
yoga. Yeah, I know.
It's
It's yoga videos that you can customize anywhere from like 15 minutes to I think an hour and a half.
Really?
You can choose multiple different types of yoga. You can choose like multiple different types of voice. You can choose the time in which like it's
Fucking
how
what?
fast it's moving. It's an incredible app, and you can get it for like $16 a year. Unreal.
What I would I like that idea, but I think if you haven't done yoga and it's your first time, you probably should go to a class. Because the first time I did a down dog, and I'm thinking, I'm looking pretty good. And the yoga instructor came behind and just like grabbed my hips and just moved. You need to be right there. And it's like, she goes, now breathe. I can't.
And
So I mean, you there's when you do these poses, I mean, you're thinking, yeah, I look just like that person on the screen. But
and I was gonna disagree with you, but I do have past experience in yoga. So
yeah. I think
Go
just
to
start a
yoga class,
basic
but-
one.
Wow.
Totally.
Wow, you come from yoga. To yoga.
Do it.
Yeah. I've never done it.
Never Down Dog. Well,
You know
yes,
what?
We're gonna.
You know what?
Actually, I
Arrive
lied.
is gonna come
I-
out
I-
with
hang on.
fire next year.
If I can find, I know a couple of yogis. If I can find someone that would put up with us, would you do it once a week?
I would not only do it, but I would videotape it for the show.
Yeah.
People would just be shitting themselves laughing.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Only if Jack's in there to keep this like somewhat.
Did Pat fart again?
Yeah.
Farting is part of it. Yeah.
not intentional.
It was Paul.
Yeah.
Blame it on Paul.
Yeah.
I would do it. Absolutely, I'd do it.
Smeller's the feller is usually the rule that I always.
Smellers the fella?
Yeah.
I've never
You
heard
can't
that one.
smell
I've
that.
I've heard smelt it, dealt it,
Yeah.
but I've not smellers.
There's the feller. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't mind the smell of my own brand. Anyway, so-
Nobody does. Nobody hates their own brand. Yeah, everybody loves their own brand.
I
Still
almost, I
gross.
almost crossed the line. Not that we haven't already, but
Yeah,
it's-
we
Yeah,
have
exactly.
multiple times
Yeah.
tonight. Where's
Yeah.
Jackson?
Yeah. Jackson,
help.
We need you, buddy.
Reel us in.
he's not monitoring the live feed. It's fucking chaos over there. There's probably
Cats
hell
and
going
dogs
on. Yeah,
living
living in mass hysteria. So okay, let's switch gears here. You guys, it is as soon as I find the fucking LMNOPQRST. Oh fuck it. It is time for the news. Brought to you by our friends at Athletic Brewing. Want to be like me and not gain 20 pounds over the winter? Yeah. Don't be me. Just switch a can of Athletic into your diet and the calorie count drops immediately. Oh, did I mention they actually taste great? Try some today. Athletic Brewing. So let's get to the news. I'm fucked, aren't I? I'm too fisty. I feel
Yeah,
like I
let's
should
do a drop shot
this.
right now.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
come
No,
on.
no, I won't do that.
What are you guys, 18? Shit.
Mentally?
Yes.
We are. Hey, so first story. Hey, it's me, Mario. Quite possibly a total asshole. In case you haven't heard, Mario Cipollini, age 55, has been not that far off of me, has been sentenced to 3 years in prison of abusing two of his domestic partners. I know this isn't fucking funny, but I need to say it. His ex-wife Sabrina Landucci and more recently Silvio Guisti by the court of Lucca on Monday. The Italian was charged with domestic abuse. He's charged with stalking and injuring the two women in a case that first brought to the court on March 2019. 2019. There we go. But apparently, oh fuck!
Oh.
Did it go in?
I
Yeah,
just
it
tore the
did.
paper out. Yeah. The prosecutor described
Make sure the
Cipollini.
staple's not in there.
Yeah, well, that's just iron. I'm talking about a fucking douchebag. Described Cipollini in the indictment as quote, an extremely violent, extremely threatening, and extremely abusive man who, according to testimony, once threatened Landucci with a gun because she had chosen to wear a skirt that he felt was too short. So there's, of course, he's denied it, abusing his partners, and there's a lot of appeals going on, and we can't, the court of guilty, the court of innocent, the whatever it might be. But does anybody with a history in the sport and understanding of Mario Cipollini, do you feel surprised? Do you feel shocked? Do you feel, Paul, you're shaking your head already?
He's a bit of a philanderer. He used to have like different women taped, like Pamela Lee Anderson on his,
top tip.
on his stem and stuff like that. And he's a piece of work. And he's actually CP had a great story. A friend of his was at a race. I can't remember what race it was. And Mario, this is in the early 2000s, and the guy had his camera and he didn't have a press pass. Yeah. So he was reaching over the barriers trying to take a picture, and these people are interviewing him, and he said, "Everybody stand back. This man wants to take my picture," and poses for this guy's camera. It's just a little bit over the top. I never did like the guy. I think
that's just an Italian for you.
Nah.
Remember Tomba? That's a little bit of the trap.
Hopefully there's no
Alberto
Italians
Tonga.
that
Yeah,
listen.
Tomba la bomba.
Yeah.
They
have there is, that you look at. There's some famous Italian riders that weren't that way. But I just don't. I think he's a doucher. I think he was obviously, like everybody else, a doper, but he did a lot of steroids, and I think he even did it. If you look at him, he was
still
taking pictures.
fucking ripped.
Yeah, and what do you think? So he's raging. You can only assume, And he has heart problems, which is all indication of the whole thing. And he probably has testicles the size of raisins. So, and that serves him right.
I don't have anywhere to go with that. Does anybody notice that? I'll throw this to Sam because Paul just kind of danced on that subject in a beautiful way.
Yeah, he did. He nailed it.
There are several pros out there who finish the sport and are not able to figure out their lives beyond.
Mm-hmm.
We have, seriously, riders like Marco Pantani, riders like Jan Ulrich, riders, who just can't figure out what to do with their private lives. Is there a formula here? Or, what do you think? Cycling's a selfish sport.
It is. Man. Oh, God.
Yeah, I threw a big...
Yeah, well, I also am hesitant because and it's some documentary that unfortunately has that guy in it that we don't want to talk about. Voldemort.
We call him Voldemort.
Yeah, that's fine. So it has Voldemort and talks about how, like, there are just some people, like Jan Ulrich, in my point of view, I'm like, yeah, he doped, but, like, no worse than anybody else, but he got a bad rap, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's guys like that just have a hard time moving on, and that's unfortunate, but then there's other guys that it's like, yeah, why can't you move on? Like, there's other things that you could be doing. Yeah. And I would guess that, this is my own perspective, that a lot of them had to start at such a young age that cycling was their whole life. Yep. And then it's like, hey, by the way, you're now 30 and we don't want you anymore. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Figure out your shit.
Yeah. And it's like,
by the way, you're not paid anymore either. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, that's the thing is that it's like, I kind of went through that as I was cycling and realizing that I'm not good enough to make it to the next level. So it's like I'm working in a bike shop and I'm like, so this is what my life will look like forever if I continue down this road.
I'm still cleaving for hope. I'm gonna.
Your Masters is right around the corner.
2 sprints away from a contract. Paul.
That's right.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
But like, I think that is my guess at it. It's just that like they started at such a young age that they aren't. And you have to devote your whole life to it, that they end up getting through it, and they're like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Don't you think, though, that's human nature? I'm thinking of baseball players. You hear about all these guys that are supposedly really cool, and then you find out all the crap they did.
Mm-hmm.
A-Rod's one. You can do, like, actors, too. They're like, there's some that are just...
Yeah.
What's that British guy had a talk show, and now there's... crap on him.
James Corden.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's dick.
Yeah. And so, I don't know if it's fame. I think people at upper level too, I think has a tendency to draw those people who are willing to knock people down to get to where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know if it's, specifically on cycling, but yeah, there is certainly a share of them in cycling.
Just waiting for this. Hey, remember that Packfiller podcast? That guy was a dick. Remember that show? Fucking never went anywhere. That guy was a
He was
dick.
a bad tipper.
Yeah, I tip well. I even
I
tip
do
my
too.
hair.
I tip too much.
Person who cuts my hair.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I tip my
Full
25%.
Oh, fuck.
25.
I said 20.
But I ride
you
farther
tip
than
better
you
than me.
too. So
You do.
we-
Yeah, you're better than me. I wish I would have had you
What
guys
are we gonna
on
name
camera at that
this
moment.
this show?
Speaking of retired pros, everybody, Dan weighs on the good old days. Dan Martin has described modern cycling as, quote, boring, and, quote, prescriptive, arguing that racing has become more professionalized and, quote, freedom of expression, end quote, has all but disappeared. I'm reading text from our friends at Velo News. Martin, a relentless attacker and roller of the dice over his 14-year career, identified two-time Tour de France winner Tadej Pogacar as an exception, but also warned that the new wave of young talents might have shorter careers. And in interviews with The Guardian and a whole bunch of other things, he said, quote, it's the freedom of expression as well. The freedom to attack. Racing is quite boring to watch now as nobody makes mistakes anymore, he told The Guardian. Everything is so fine-tuned, you don't see guys having bad days. Everyone is nutritionally perfect, training is perfect, and it's lacking that human element. Racing has become quite prescriptive. I'll let you settle on that one for a second as I do my pencil, my staple tear and throw the piece of paper away. By the way, I learned that in broadcasting school. If you tear off a piece of paper, you get it out of the way. You don't leave it on your stand.
Yeah,
you get
you're
it out of
just
the way.
going through it.
Yeah, there's a little pull behind the curtain there. Initial thoughts on Mr. Merton. On his thoughts on, sorry, I'm not going to go full Irish.
That was Scottish.
No, was it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck.
For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, you're right. It was a little more Scottish. I've been dealing with a lot of Scots lately.
I know.
Yeah.
It rubs off.
Yeah. To be continued.
Yeah.
Right? Is racing boring or is Dan just bitter?
I think it was in the early, 2010 on when Sky got into it. It was boring.
Yeah.
The classics, you couldn't operate on that same level, and Sky at the time, now Ineos, had problems winning classics, and so all that marginal gain, everybody got hooked onto that. But now everybody is at that level, and I can see his point a little bit. But now, I mean, the Tour, I think we all agree, was one of the most exciting ones this year.
Yep.
It was not boring. And the only I was really disappointed in Lombardia. That was like old school. UAE just got to the front and just wilted everybody down on every climb.
And it
and Tadej
sounds like
gets-
they're planning on that again.
Yeah, they're certainly stacking it up. But it was funny because Tadej, Tadej broke the mold of Sky and Ineos that train, because all he did was hook on, and it was Jumbo-Visma that had the power, and they're just like, I'll just ride this. What's the difference between you guys or my own team?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's all he did.
Yep.
So I mean, he's obviously extremely talented too, but then Jumbo-Visma, that's what made it interesting this year in my book, is like, okay, we're not going to go there because the guy's too good.
Yeah.
So now we got to do things like Stage 11 is a fine example.
Yeah.
They just, tore up the old book. And I think there is, to a point. I'm wondering if he's going towards everybody's worried about their data.
Yeah.
And
They're
as
staring
opposed
at
to
numbers.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is some of that going on.
I mean, it's I think that I don't dwell on it because it's inevitable. Like, no matter what, that's the way that we're working towards. So, like, we're going to have, at some point, we're going to have a team where, like, Tade is only focused on the tour, right? That is his one thing, and he's done until the next year.
Bums me out. Fuck,
It
that
is.
bums me out.
And I agree, because like I still saw a lot of the older style, right? Like I remember growing up and watching all of the older races, and they were so exciting because you never knew what was going to happen. That's not necessarily going to be the future. It's going to be like who brought the right team, right? And has
Who
the right
stays
firepower.
healthy? Who does?
Yeah. Yeah, and so that's just kind of how it's going to be. But I don't know if it's going to be shorter careers or if it'll be just less like diverse careers, I think is how I'd put it. Like they're going to have people who like, man, Eddie Merckx, like he would just hit them all. Whereas like you're going to have guys like, I mean, Tade did like, actually he did really well throughout the season if you think about what he did. But you're going to have where somebody like that is just going to do the tour.
We've seen, a lot of comparisons to Eddie Merckx, and I think that, be it as it may. But we're running into a lot of situations where these young riders are just being, I mean, you're looking at these guys and everybody's thinking this guy's going to do the career of Merckx, but the intensity of what these people are doing at this age is just unbelievable. And with this, on this, I agree with Dan Martin that these guys are going full gas at such a young age. But is that a bad thing? I mean, because they're enthusiastic about it, they're engaged, they're at some of their physical peak.
It's a total. I mean, it's a total flip because you used to have the guys that ran the peloton, right? Like they were the
Bill Patron.
The patrons.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna just call our fundraising thing
like,
the Patron.
and I think that the last one was wow. What is the Swiss rider? I can see his face.
Urs Zimmerman.
No.
What this year?
No, he retired like 4 years ago.
Oh, Cancellara.
Thank you.
Probably Cancellara. Yeah.
Whoa, maybe I shouldn't have any more bourbon. Anyway, Cancellara was, I think, the last of that era that, like, he was, the guy that led it, and it's like you listen to him, right? And I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I don't think you're going to have that because you're going to have just a bunch of young bucks that want to rip after it. And I think
but is the sport going to evolve into this session of young bucks? Is it going to just de-evolve? I've never known.
Devo.
That. Yeah,
De-evolution.
Into this just kids going, wah! Is it going to become a fucking kindergarten class just rolling down the roads of Europe, just all going attack.
Well, I think
because there was always this mentality that's like you have to learn your tactics, you have to learn your mentality, you have to learn ways to do it, but radios and power meters have changed that game. And you've got somebody in your voice telling you what to do. You've got power meters telling you what numbers to hit. Does it take the tactically brilliant cyclist to be successful?
I've I'll touch that and then go back a little bit.
You can.
So I think you'd be surprised how many people actually look at their numbers. There's quite a few cyclists that say that's one thing because you can delete like the power. They just use that so they can see the results at the end of the race. And some of the communication because they're watching on the car, so the DS is in the car, and it's delayed. Could be 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So they're saying, hey, the breakaway up, it looks like Quintana blew a gasket, so he's out of it. I mean, that's the information. What? Yeah. Hang on. He's hooking onto a motorcycle. Looks like he's back on. Yeah, he hooked on. That type of thing. But I think you can see the youth, the pattern right now of cycling. Kilometer Zero used to be. That's why they never had TV. I mean, TV was like an hour and a half. Even over in Europe, And then so the thing is a tax didn't go, or there might have been a couple of. It was under control. By the pack, and the hour and a half came on. And it was full gas, and everything went from there. Now we have TV. is it TV or is it just the way people are like, we're throwing away the rule book here?
Yeah.
Kilometer Zero, if you look, those guys are like sprinting and like attack after attack, and teams are trying to control. Different teams are trying to control. No, not that
It's
guy.
120-mile crit.
Yeah, and it's amazing. That's why we're getting speeds that are like, record speeds, is because, all these 20, 21, 22-year-olds can sustain, because we have the data, sustain this effort, of course, controlling it a little bit, monitoring it, but for a 250 kilometer, race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think we're seeing an evolution part, and I can understand the old guard going like, God, these guys are taking chances. Philippe Gilbert, I've heard Mike. Yeah, all of them are like, it's different now.
Yeah.
They weren't really. Gilbert was. That's right. More the sweat, the better. But those guys are not really complaining. They're just saying this is, in a way, they're just like, it's not the same.
So are we talking about Dan is complaining about the fact that the sport has evolved?
Do you think he's complaining, or is he just kind of pointing out? Because I don't have the context.
I don't think he's complaining. I think he's he's in
I disagree
an
with
interview.
him being boring, though. I
agree.
I don't think we've seen boring.
I
races.
agree
No.
to disagree. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think this has been a fucking incredible year of racing,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's just. Now it has become a smaller percentage of riders pulling off some of these grand wins, but I don't think it's down to, it's just boring. It's just watts. It's just things like that.
That's what the Sky years were.
Yeah, and the Voldemort years.
Yeah.
We're very much so. All right.
Yeah. Well, you just knew who was going to win it overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved the fact that this tour, I was like, Pogacar's gonna what? Or something like that.
Same with
So,
the Vuelta too.
Yeah.
Everybody
And the Giro.
Yeah.
and the Giro, same
The
thing.
Giro was crazy.
yeah. So it was a good season. Speaking of season, let's end with some fun, shall we? The 2022 best of.
Oh, yeah.
Our voting is open. Oh, you guys are all grabbing the phones. I
Well,
have to grab.
I had to write it down.
I didn't write anything down, and I'm picking it as I go because I'm the guy who can do that. But I do.
So you're going to have to go first, otherwise you're going to piggyback on our choices.
Yeah.
Oh, of course I'm going to piggyback on your choices. I can't. That's my bar.
He has not made it.
I have Jackson's. I have Jackson's.
Okay, that's
Okay,
too.
very good.
So,
Good.
So should I start with Jackson's?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
from
start
there,
Jackson.
and then you guys all go,
Yep.
and then I get to piggyback.
Yep.
Okay, because I want to look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a fragile little desert flower. So what we have here, everybody, and you guys can play along with us, and I will post this because this is not my list. It's a list that I saw on Twitter, and I thought fucking perfect. So we got the best of 2022, and you can play along with us, or you can. Oh, why are you listening to this show? So. We have best overall. We have starting with best overall. And I said best overall female and male to start with. So best overall, I think we have, Jackson listed male first, but that's okay.
Sexist.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's go with best overall women's. Jackson picked Annemiek van Vleuten. Anybody gonna stray away from that one?
You know, okay, she was super dominant, but I think it's because I also just love her. But Lizzie Deignan.
Oh, yeah.
But she's
did
been
she have
pregnant.
that great of a
She
year?
didn't have that great of a season, but would her teammates have had as good of a season if she wasn't on the team?
That's a good point.
Right?
Lizzie
That's
didn't
my
race
only-
this year because the kid
Yeah.
She did.
early had to be early because
it was early.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay.
You're wrong, though, it sounded to me.
Okay, that was my
Okay.
Yeah.
We all agree with that one.
I don't disagree with it.
Okay, so we're just basically going to read Jackson's and disagree. Or agree.
Yeah, because
Best male cyclist of the year, Jackson's obviously sticking close to home. He's going Tadej Pogacar.
I say Wout van Aert.
Paul
Wow.
says Wout van
Yeah.
Aert.
Yep.
If you
You
look
say
at
Wout.
it, if you break down, Tadej had a great year, but Wout was like, I think he never finished below 50% of the pack every single race.
Like,
He
he
raced
wore the
tons of
yellow
races.
jersey. Like, I mean, look at some of the stuff that he like. He
Second
shattered
in Roubaix.
Tade. He shattered him.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just think that.
I am totally. I would agree with you, but you know, I
You're just gonna sit on a fence, just right there in the middle.
no. I'm
Who did you pick then?
Dan
Who'd you pick?
Martin.
Dan Martin. Retired.
He had a good year, man.
God.
Drink some good Irish whiskey. No, I agree with you. I'm with Wout. I think that without a doubt, Tade had an amazing year, and I actually, you know what, I'm gonna go with Tade.
Okay.
I am.
I mean,
because
yeah.
I think with what he did in the races he did, and his consistency throughout the year was fucking unbelievable. So there we go. Let me see here. Teams. Best. We're chivalrous, so we go women's team first. So best women's team. Jackson picked Trek Segafredo.
I agree.
That or like Jumbo Visma, just for their dominance
Women's
on both
Jumbo
sides.
Visma. Yeah.
Both of them.
Well, you got the GOAT on your team. So
yep,
yeah,
that's the thing.
I was gonna go with Segafredo, Trek Segafredo, personally
same.
too.
Yeah, they're the only team that could take on Van Vleuten.
Yeah,
and you couldn't because her results. Van Vleuten's results were all, being on Movistar.
Yeah.
Can you name a person on Movistar outside of her?
Nope.
Nope.
Best men's team. Jackson picked Jumbo Visma.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree?
That's just why I picked like
Christophe
both men's and women's. I think they did.
Yeah, Christophe Laporte. I mean, he was, switching teams. They had a couple of races where they went 1, 2, 3. Wout helped that out, and of course, winning the Tour.
Now, Ineos had a good spring, which we tend to forget. They won a lot
on the
of early
classics. They
season
did very
races.
well.
Yeah.
Which is not like them.
Yeah. And Quick Step had some very nice end of the season results. So I mean, but I'm gonna agree with you guys. I'm gonna go with and Jackson with Jumbo Visma. Most improved rider. This is an interesting one. Jackson picked Remco Evenepoel. Is that classically a most improved rider?
Oh, absolutely.
Did
if you
he
look at the
improve?
past results, though, like he went from being he was good, but he won a Grand Tour.
He did step up,
and then he won Worlds right after that. Like Bradley Wiggins was the last one to do that, right? With winning the Tour of France and then winning the Olympics.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of the same caliber.
Okay.
I don't know. I
went
Remco
with
as well.
Uttrup Ludwig because
Yeah. She had a
towards
great
the end of the
season.
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I picked. I think Remco is.
I'm gonna probably agree with Jackson because
Well, here's my thing on Remco, is that I think he always had the potential. It was just in his mind, and whether he could gather that. And I think he had some good people around him. You could see his demeanor changing and everything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a surprise because last year, even during the COVID periods, people that rode with him, Larry Warbass was saying that when he pulled away from us at San Sebastian the first year he won, it's like we were at full gas.
Yeah.
You can't stop. You couldn't even hang on his wheel, just like in Worlds, what happened to
Races
Lusenko.
become boring.
Yeah. Well, when you just walk away.
Most consistent. I think we could all probably say on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Van
Tadej
Vleuten.
Pogacar.
Van Vleuten.
Van Vleuten.
I mean, she won all Grand Tours. She won the Worlds.
Yeah, that's not.
She's won.
You're right.
Like,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm just saying.
I don't know. I was thinking either Wout or Mathieu van der Poel. Like they're both up there for all of those big races.
Mathieu van der Poel had an up and down season.
He was terrible. He even dropped out in the last couple of races.
True.
It would have been. He would have been good if it weren't for those meddling kids and their dog, though.
True. But he
Had to
competed in
say.
everything was my point. Like, what rider have you seen this year that has competed in all of those events? You know, like he did all of the spring classics. He shouldn't have done the tour.
Yeah,
and he did.
he's only doing
Like,
one Grand Tour this year. Or next
But
year.
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, he's done so many races this year and he did well at all of them. Anyway, that was my guess.
No, that's a good, yeah. So we're all making our votes, and we're not going to decide. Most consistent, I said, best non-world tour rider. Best non-world tour team-based rider. I mean, that's kind of easy, isn't
I
it?
picked Jackson Bolger.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
It's not one. Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, he won his crit, right?
Yeah,
He's
he
second
did.
in
I
the
know.
state
He did.
championships, you know.
yeah. I was
agree.
going to pick Matthew Vanderpool, and Jackson picked Matthew Vanderpool, but you know,
I think that
he's humble that way, you know.
because
fucking nice
I
guy.
think
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
are
jerk.
no, they're not world tour. Yeah, they're world tour this year.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
weren't.
this year. This year.
Look
they're
it up.
world
Somebody
tour.
Google this.
Oh shit, we don't have that kind of time.
Okay, what was the next one?
Best rookie. Rookie.
I got it. What did Jackson say?
Jackson for rookie. He said Pidcock. Is Pidcock technically?
Is he a rookie?
He's not though.
He's races mountain bike professionally.
Well, and he was in the road
He was in.
scene last year.
I think so.
Yeah.
I would so go with that. I mean, to win Alpe d'Huez on your first year racing.
But do we classify him as a rookie? That's a tough one.
I think it would be your first year as a pro tour rider.
Okay.
And that's something we'll have to check. I think he raced for him last year.
Yeah.
So that I wouldn't consider. Although
Who'd you pick?
I picked Arnaud Delis for Lotto. So they had only 24 wins. He had 9 of them. He's 20 years old.
Holy shit.
He raced for him as juniors as a development team and in the under 23. That kid's going to be, remember that name. He's going to be something. I think he even won more
20?
races. He's only 20 years old. And I think he had more wins than Caleb Ewing.
Jesus.
Or
That's
close
crazy.
to. Yeah. This kid's unbelievable.
Best signing. Best signing.
The same
team
for me.
that
Same one.
Brought somebody over.
Arnaud did.
You know what? The kid knows his shit.
Yeah.
He said Christophe Laporte because they
'cause he
signed
switched
him
teams,
from
yeah.
another team.
Yeah, he's got several.
I said George Bennett because he came from Jumbo to wow, why am I blanking on this? This is in my
George Bennett went from
UAE.
De Koenig to
George, yeah. No, he went to Jumbo.
George Bennett.
George
Yeah,
Bennett
to
went from
UAE.
to UAE. And like I think that he was a killer road captain for Jumbo. I mean, I think that they have such an all-star roster that it's like one of those things that
Was Bennett on
UAE.
this
Yeah,
year?
UAE.
Oh, UAE.
UAE.
Okay, yeah.
You know, he came from UAE and
Yeah.
like, or he came from Jumbo and UAE signed him.
Okay. Worst signing of the year.
I did this one with Jackson in mind.
Did you? Who'd you pick?
Peter Sagan.
Oh no!
Come on, guys. Did he do
Yes,
anything?
He
And
had
like, how
some
much
results?
Nothing worth noting.
Yeah, it wasn't the year we'd hope.
I did that one just for Jackson. Jackson,
Yeah.
are you screaming at home?
No, he picked Alexander Vlasov.
That was a bad signing.
Alpecin is not a world tour team.
They are not.
No,
Okay,
they will be.
So
Wow.
they should be.
So my worst signing is Jakob Fogelsang.
Did he have a?
He went from he had a pretty good. I mean, he was
He was
right
an
in there.
Astana boy.
Yeah, Astana,
Yeah.
and he's in Israel. So you don't even remember that. His only best results was third place in Tour of Switzerland.
Israel Premier Tech has become the new Trek.
Trek San Diego.
The
old man's
retirement
club.
homes for.
Why does
for
it always smell like Ben Gay or something?
Biggest disappointment of a team, or I guess right?
Yeah,
Biggest
I'm
disappointment of a team. Oh,
Mine was Quick Step in the classics, in the early classics.
really? Okay, yeah, that was.
They had
that
bad
was,
luck,
That was
and
a
they
tough
had
year for them.
COVID, and they had
Yeah.
that was they've always won on the ranking. There's always been number one. They're not Jumbo-Visma.
Yeah.
So.
Sam? Did you
Peter's
have one?
gone in total energy.
Oh, I was gonna say Total Energy. I was gonna say that because I
mean, they have like all-stars on that team.
Yeah,
And yet,
I'm
anyway,
gonna go
that's
with that,
also
too.
a jab at Jackson again.
Yeah,
God,
Jackson
I wish he
said
was here. It's so much more fun to pick
I
on
know,
him live.
right? Because he'd just be quiet. And
I know.
nice
Because
about
he'd
it.
just
Yeah.
be nice about
Yeah.
it. He's like, I respect your opinion.
Yeah. But he hasn't got to the point where he's just looking an adult in the face and goes, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
You
That's
fucking
my
asshole.
goal. I'm gonna get him
Yeah,
there.
do it. Mine. Jackson's was Lotto Sudal.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Best race is the final one. Best race. Jackson said Strada Bianca.
Oh, God.
That's
Oh.
Tade's race.
Man, dang
Yeah.
it.
That was pretty impressive.
I hate to agree with him, but I did have that too.
was a
And
good
I also
race.
did have, was it stage
hate
18
to
of
agree
the Giro that Jai Hindley
Yeah.
took
Yeah.
over the,
Yeah.
that was also a really good race when he just like went for it. That was really cool. But my first answer was Strada Bianca.
Mine's Paris-Roubaix.
Well, yours
Always.
has to be.
God,
Always. It
come
was
on.
great. The winner, Dylan Belbar,
Yeah.
and who would ever picked him? He rode. He had a flat for a long time. I mean, if you get behind the curtain of what was going on, and teams were like, yeah, it's just a chaos race. You can never pick it. So, yeah, I thought
think
that
we
was.
can all agree.
I was on the end of my seat the whole freaking race.
Does
So,
the tour count as a race?
yeah.
Well,
Okay,
I think that
I
there's
really enjoyed
21
it this
races
year.
in it.
Yeah, but that's my problem because I
Or you can
enjoyed
take the tour as one
a
big race.
I really enjoyed it this
Mm-hmm.
year. I thought it was dynamic. I thought there were I didn't know. I walked into it thinking that Tade was just going to crush it, and I love that there were moments of question throughout the entire thing, and that just made it even more. I would have loved a little bit more dynamic in the sprint competition, but
Yeah, the course didn't really provide that,
it
but
didn't.
but that's some of the beauty of I think the way they laid that out. In my opinion, the tour, there wasn't that long transition stage. Might as well be watching a gravel race. That boring, So, yeah. A callback from last week.
There we go.
Yes.
There he
I mean,
is.
straight ribbon a road,
Yeah,
the change of
yeah,
elevation.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that was terrible.
That was
Yeah.
bad.
That was bad. Yeah. All right. So, final grade. Rate the 2022 season. Give it an A, B, C, D, or F. If we were going to be teachers, what would you give it? Jackson's. I don't know if he's still with us online, but text me, Jay, if you have a final grade. But you guys want to give it a final grade. I don't necessarily mean in terms of like past seasons, but just how much you got out of it.
I think it was an A. For me, it was an A. It was
Yeah.
a great season. Like all throughout, there were great races. Not every single race was incredible, but you didn't know necessarily what was going to happen in every single one.
I get an A-. I think that we had a couple of, like Lombardia. I've always looked forward to. I thought that was probably the most boring race for me, and that's probably why I'm remembering the last. But
I was just gonna say, is it because your memory doesn't
Yeah,
go back
yeah,
to
it
the
doesn't.
beginning anymore?
I thought even Vuelta I've seen more interesting. It was great to see him win.
Yeah.
Evenepoel, but it wasn't like on the edge of your seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because usually the Vuelta, you don't know. Every day
Yeah.
somebody's going to blow up, and they throw in these insane, like the Giro, the last time trial is a hilltop time trial. I mean, that type of stuff where you're like, God, people could just blow up. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say that Jackson has said A plus
Wow.
for the
That's like
season.
Ralphie's
So
little essay that he
optimistic.
wrote.
Yeah, it's Ralphie's teacher going, on his theme.
Great.
Yeah,
Everybody's
he
great.
gave it a top end rating, and you know what? I'm going to give it an A, simply for the reason that every race I watched this year, I gave a shit about. There was something going on, and second of all, there was no doping admissions.
We have one, Quintana.
Gosh
We had
darn
one.
it, Paul! Why
That
do you have
was-
to ruin my party?
That was
He didn't have a contract.
yeah. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen,
Yeah.
man. especially because he dropped.
He'll join Total Energy with Peter Sagan.
Do you think so?
God, I'm sorry. Jackson, I'm really sorry. I
Hey,
don't know why
speaking of which, it looks like Mark Cavendish is heading to B&B Hotels for 1 year
He needs a
deal.
lead out man.
Do you think he's going to get the final?
He'll get it.
Well,
Maybe
it'll be
get it.
interesting to see because what is the 23rd? They'll announce the
team.
tour,
Yeah.
the tour layout. So I wonder how many sprint because I don't think, and we all were surprised. Like Jakobsen, everybody's saying they should have taken Cavendish. I think at the end of that, all of us are like, I don't know.
No. Yeah.
There was no really true sprint stages. So, but if there's kind of like one of those like flat long races, like gravel races are, just long and boring.
You're the
Oh my
worst.
God, you're
10
such...
hours.
You're the
of-
worst.
Who wronged you, Paul?
What happened to you as a
I
child?
like-
What
I'm
happened?
jabbing right now.
I know.
You're jabbing
Yeah.
Jackson.
This is
I'm
worse
jabbing
Jackson.
the world here.
Yeah. Jackson, I just texted him, will Cav get the Tour de France win? He said, oh, God, no. I hope he understand. I might have getting the TDF. No, I might have mistexted him because I've had bourbon and beer. Am I slowing my speech? Fuck. Yeah. You guys, that brings us to an end of another Packfiller podcast. I don't know if it was productive or not, but
It was.
It was what would we call this one? Because last time was
Pat's ass.
yeah, Pat's
Pat's
ass.
ass. That was a good one.
Pat's an ass.
I think this one's called Dick Measuring Contest.
I can't call it that. I'll just call it arms on the bar.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, you guys, like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. I don't fucking care. Just have a fun time riding your bike and listening to us.
Wow.
Maybe rate us on iTunes. Should I say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You
It's
don't-
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Am I done?
Yeah,
done.
you can
I
do
think
that.
we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.